So the technique that I'm going to show you tonight is whitewash, and it's very easy to do, and the effect is really pretty. So what we have to do is start with a piece of cardstock that is light in color. White doesn't really work, but you can use crumb cake or Sahara sand or something like that. So we're going to use crumb cake tonight. And so what you do is you use your buddy, I forget what it's called, something buddy. Anyway, and that's a powder that you put on the cardstock so that when you stamp the image, the Versamark, because I'm going to use Versamark, so then the Versamark, the powder won't stick to anywhere where there isn't Versamark. So I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp down here. And I'm going to ink it up again. I'm going to stamp over here. I feel like I could do a better job if I hold it in my hand like that. Let's see here. I think I'll put one here, and then I'll put one over on the other corner. I haven't designed this card yet, so I hope it turns out well. Okay, so once you've stamped it with the Versamark, the next thing you want to do is put white detail powder on it. And it doesn't really take much, but it's a lot easier if you use a lot. Because I'm going to put it right back into the container after I spread this around. So I'm not wasting any of it. This, the Versamark, I'm sorry, the detail powder lasts forever. So, yeah, you won't have to buy a lot of it. All right, so now that I've got that covered, something on there. No. All right, so now I'm gonna just fold it a little bit and put that back in. And so if there's anywhere on here where you see there's powder stuck to it that you don't want there, then you can go ahead and just scrape it off. Uh-oh, I see what I did. I touched it. All right, be more careful. Yeah, I might not get that part back. Okay, I think it's gonna be fine now. You're gonna get to see what I'm wanting to show you. Okay, so then after you put the powder on it, then you're going to heat it up with your tool gun, your hot tool gun. What's it called? Oh my goodness, I'm a mess. Heat tool. That's what it is, heat tool. So you'll see that you couldn't really see it before, but now you start to see it. It turns wet, and then when it turns dry, then it rises up off of the paper. And you do want to be careful because this heat tool is very, very hot. It might curl your cardstock a little, but don't let that bother you. You can heat the back side to straighten it out if you have to, but you probably won't need to do that anyway. In this case, I'm going to layer it onto another piece of cardstock. Ooh, that's hot. Just want to make sure that I get it all. Now, I've heard someone say that you could scorch your paper, but I've never scorched my paper. So you might be careful with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take some, now this is Whisper White. This is one of Stampin' Up's old stamp pads. I don't know if they sell the Whisper White right now. I haven't looked for it because I've got this. But anyway, so then you're going to want to get your aqua painter. Stampin' Up has these aqua painters, but they may be retiring because they've come out with 3 new brushes that are similar to this. But it would still work the same. So you just want to dab your white on the corner and then just start coloring. And you don't have to be real careful with it. This is the whitewash technique. And we'll do all 4 of these. You want the water in the tip, but you don't really need a lot of it. Mine, it looks like I've got a lot. I did just refill this with water, so I may go back and add some more color. So you just keep going like this. It just becomes a very muted color. It looks kind of antique-y. And you don't have to worry about staining the lines. So we'll give that a minute or so to dry. So how many of you have actually started looking through the mini catalog to pick out the stamp sets that you want? I sent my customers, I sent them all catalogs, and I sent a sample of one of the cards and a shopping list. So makes it really easy to keep track of the things that you want. And place your orders. If you order during the month of January, you're going to get 15% off. That is my discount to you. Nobody else does that. So you have to place the order through me, and you will need to call or email me to place the order. My phone number is on the website on Facebook, or you can reach me at tjtucker2013@gmail.com. The other email address I have is tuckertopnotchdesigns@gmail.com. Okay. All right, I'm going to clean this. Just going to really squirt some water through here till it comes out clear to get that white ink off of it. Clean it up. Here we go. All right, I just want to give this a little bit of time to dry. It doesn't need to dry all the way. I'm going to put more color on it. I'm going to put color on it with some, with this aqua painter. Okay, that's probably good. Let's see, I brought out Rich Razzleberry. This, so it always was before that you could squeeze the stamp pads to get a little bit of ink in the lid, but it's a lot harder to do that now. Don't worry about those white spots. That's actually wax, because I waxed the side of the, I waxed the side so that I could open and close it easier, and I didn't get the wax off of there, so that's, we'll stay over on this side. It'll be all right. And so then we just start coloring. And there again, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to stay within the lines. It's going to be all right. This is kind of a shabby chic kind of card. Okay. And we'll do the same thing with this one. And then I'm going to try to go over some of it with a lighter color. I don't know how well that's going to work. Like I said, I haven't done this design, so I haven't tried that. So I think I'm going to stop with the rich raspberry and clean out this brush and go over to, I think I chose Rocco Rose. Yeah. Oh, now there it is at the top. I don't know why some of them work well like that and others don't. If you squeeze them, nothing happens. I kind of like this color. I almost like it better because I think once I finish with the Rocco Rose, I can go back around with the rich raspberry and do more closer to the center. So we'll see. Then you can let me know what you like the best. I think that's so pretty. It's so different. It's not a technique that you see very often. Now this is a simple card. I know with the aqua painting and everything, it may not seem that simple, but because you don't really have to stay within the lines, you can just kind of put the ink on there wherever you want. It just makes it really simple. Okay, so let's try, let's get this color out of here. Let's go back to the rich raspberry and let's try putting some of that around the center. So the more I spread it out, then the better, because then it's not as dark. But when you look at this one, it dried pretty light, so this will probably do the same thing. Okay, let's go to this one. I like the detail in these flowers. I think it's so pretty, which makes this a really good technique for this stamp set. There we go. What do you think of that? Go back and touch up some of these areas. And it doesn't all have to be dark. You can do parts of it light, parts of it dark. Whatever you decide to do is fine. And it'll be beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna clean this out. And close this so I don't accidentally use it. I'm going to go back to use some of this Rocco Rose. What do you think of that? That's different. Oops. So I had my video up on my website, or Facebook Live actually, and hey, I can actually see what's going on here. I don't see any comments though. So I might be doing this all by myself tonight. That's okay, I'll put it on YouTube and it'll stay on Facebook for a while. That's different. I like it. Do you like it? Let's go over here with this. See if we like this. All right, now I'm going to use, I believe it's Daffodil Delight. And I'll do the center of the flowers with that color. Now Monday I will be here, I think it's at 7, and I'm going to do a mystery card. I'm calling it Mystery Monday, and my plan is to do that every Monday. At least for now, until we decide we want to do something else. Okay, we'll give that a little bit of time to dry. And then, like I said before, you can always go back over it with some more yellow or whatever color you want to see, a little bit darker to make it stand out more. But I like the different colors that show up. You know, the lighter versus the darker. So like with the rich raspberry, I could do this again probably, and I would come up with a flower different than that. Okay, so I put the lid back on this. Now I'm going to start putting the card together. Now, like I said, this is a very simple card, so I'm not going to do a lot with it. I'll put this up on dimensionals. The pick tool is great about getting the backs off of these. This one didn't come. There we go. You can kind of keep track of, really, I mean, the backs of these dimensionals are all over my house. My husband's always vacuuming and trying to clean up after me. Let's see, should I set it this way or this way? I think I'm gonna just put it here in the center like that. And then I went ahead and cut out the dies for love. When when I start to glue this down, it's kind of tedious because I don't have, I thought I had the adhesive sheets, and if I could have found them, I don't know where they're at, if I even have them. I know I've got the foam adhesive sheets, but I didn't want foam under these letters. So anyway, if I'd had it, then I could have put this on the adhesive sheet and then put this letter on it, run it through the die cutter, the Boss, the embossing and cutting machine, and it would have been a lot easier, because then I wouldn't have to, you know, try to put glue on these very, very, very small places, because it's difficult to do that without getting it, you know, to without letting it bleed out. Now, since I put this up on dimensionals, that may not stick without my help. All right, so love. I'll put this on my silicone craft sheet. If you don't have a silicone craft sheet, I recommend you getting one, because sticky stuff, glue, adhesive strips, glue dots, anything that's got adhesive in it will not stick to the craft sheet. Sometimes I use the craft sheet to put my glue out on. I'll squeeze a bunch of this glue out, and then I'll use my pick tool and pick up a sequin, put it into the glue, and then put it down on my project. Okay. Did get a little glue right there. The glue does dry clear, and if you've got something like a rubber eraser, it will take the adhesive off of the card or off of your project, whatever it is that you're working on. It'll remove it. So it's not all lost if you get some glue on the front. And here's always. So right now, Stampin' Up! Is doing their celebration. This is the most popular celebration, most popular event that they hold. And that's because for every $50 you spend, you get an item you get to choose the item out of the celebration catalog. And if you're my customer, then you receive the catalog and you receive the celebration brochure. If you're not my customer, or if you don't have a demonstrator in the United States or one that you're already working with, then just you can email me and ask me for a catalog, and I'll send you the catalogs. And then I can help you with your order if you need help. But I would like to get the catalogs into your hands if you don't already have one. You can reach me at tjtucker2013@gmail.com, or you can reach me at tuckertopnotchdesigns@gmail.com. My blog, I try to blog every day, and that's at tuckertopnotchdesigns.blogspot.com. You can reach me that way. And of course my phone number is out there. I mean, it's on my business Facebook page, and I believe it's on my blog. It's definitely on the backs of all of my catalogs. So, all right, so let's put this one down. Find a place that there isn't glue already. Pull this card back in. And we'll put this right down there. That fell almost perfectly where I expected it to be. Okay, what do you think? So the next thing I'm going to do is put this, I'm going to mount it on black cardstock. Usually I would put the adhesive on the back of this, but it's still drying, so I'm going to do it this way. And the glue is dry, and so is the ink. So, all right, and then I'm going to pop this up on, or not pop it up, I'm just going to glue it down to Blushing Bride. This is this was an 8.5 by 11 cut down to 5.5 by 4.25. And then my layers, like this next layer would be just 1/4 inch shorter than this one, and then that one's 1/4 inch shorter than that one. So that's how you figure out your layers. Okay, let's see here. Just try to make that straight. One thing about the multi-purpose glue is that it's a little forgiving. You can slide your layers around a little bit, but you can't do that for very long. It just, it will dry rather quickly depending on how much glue you use. So, okay. So that is my project for tonight. This is the whitewash technique. I also made another card using this technique. Pull this out of the way. There's this one here. I used Magenta Madness on this and the Daffodil Delight in the center. And then I used the red rhinestone basic jewels that Stampin' Up! Has out right now. And actually, I think, you know what, I think I'm going to add some to that. In fact, I think I shall. All right, let's see. Let's put one over here. And we'll put one down here. And we'll put one, oops, we'll put one, let's put it right here. There we go. Sometimes I put more than 3, but I always try to stick with an odd number. I didn't, yes I did. I was gonna say I didn't with this one, but I did because there's the 7th one. So let me know what you think of these cards. Please make sure that you share and like my videos so that other people will be able to get access to them. Facebook is funny. The more likes you get or the more shares you have, then the higher you are in the ranks and more people will be able to find me. So here's another one. And I used the, let's see, Garden Wishes. And this dragonfly and this bee are both from the Dandy Garden 6x6 Designer Series paper. One really neat thing about the Designer Series paper, I mean, this bundle, it comes with a punch, and the large dragonfly actually matches. some of the dragonflies that are on the DSP. And I tried to, initially I stamped this bee with Versamark, not the bee itself. I stamped underneath it with Versamark, but there was so much Versamark, there was not enough of an area for me to color. So I decided to cut a bee out. I fussy cut that out of the same designer series paper and just tacked it down there. Now down here I used Garden Green, Mossy Meadow, and Old Olive, I believe. Put some Old Olive on there, like that. And then I just stamped it with the sentiment. And then these are the new blue faceted, I guess I didn't write it down. They're new and they're in the mini catalog, and they're just they're blue adhesive back jewels basically. And on the inside, a lot of times I don't put anything here when somebody if I send a card to somebody, or my daughter comes and gets cards from me quite a bit, and she prefers to write her own message inside, so usually I'll just stamp something down at the bottom like that. I don't think I did this one. Nope. And I probably didn't do this one either. Nope. Okay, so that's all that I have for you this evening. Thank you very much for being here. If you're catching this on the replay, please be sure to share and hit like. If it's on YouTube where you see this, please subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a very nice evening. Bye-bye.